that we're not seeing here. Why else would Godzilla flash an intimidation display if there wasn't another Titan around?
That podcast is filling your head with garbage. You should be in school.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Unofficial Toku-cast. My name is Alfredo Morales, aka Cheesymanfredo, and with me here today are the usual kaiju kooks.
The usual
go off.
Yep. I'm Kazoo. Hi, I do art and I post it on Twitter. That's a big kaiju-sized lie, actually, but you know.
All you do is lie on this podcast.
I'm the kaiju of lies, of deceit.
The Laiju.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, no.
The what? the what now?
Disavow.
Whoa, I didn't know we were talking about live-action Devilman.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hi, I'm King Protus, also known as Jim. That's me. I do a JoJo podcast called Jo KKK, and I also draw, I guess, but not very often. Not enough to post. I like kaiju movie.
I am Sporktown Heroine, and I only draw, and I only post, and that's it.
An organism of only drawing and posting.
I only draw and I only post. I've never eaten once in my life.
Those are my two genders, drawing and posting.
All right, Cheesy. Why are we here today? What are we talking about?
The movie event of the century, finally, the rematch that we all been wanting ever since the third Godzilla film, Godzilla vs. King Kong. We finally have the rematch. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And
have there not been any other Godzilla vs. King Kong movies since then?
Nope.
No, there's only been one, and then there was like a Japanese Kong only sequel.
Yeah. That's the one where he fights Robo-Kong, yeah?
Yeah, the
Mechanic
that'll be the
Kong.
sequel of this movie.
Yeah.
I love
hope
Mechanic
so.
Kong, or whatever you call him.
Yeah, so this movie, Kong vs. Godzilla, whatever it's called, let's just do like first thoughts or general thoughts. I was a big fan, really enjoyed it. I have not liked the other American Godzilla movies. I think they've all been pretty dookie. This one was good.
Mm-hmm.
This one was really good. I really liked it a lot.
They finally got the point that, like, all we care about is seeing the monsters. I don't give a fuck about Millie May, what's her face. Like, just give me fucking Kong and Godzilla having sexual tension with each other. It's all I want.
It's to me, this is like officially the best American Godzilla movie.
Totally,
no doubt.
Totally.
Like, there's finally a good Godzilla movie. American Godzilla movie. We only got an okay one.
Yeah. And is this the best? Is this the best Reiwa Godzilla movie?
Reiwa.
Isn't that the current era? Wait, no, isn't Shin Godzilla Reiwa era?
I don't think it is. I think Shin Godzilla came out in like 2008 or 2018
like
or something. Reiwa.
Isn't that era is considered like Neo Heisei or post Millennium era? Who cares? I hate the Japanese emperor. I hate all of them. I hate monarchies.
Yeah,
anyway.
I wasn't the sorry on their asses.
But no, finally there's a good American Godzilla movie that was really fun. Like, oh my god, I can't remember the last time I liked every single fight in a kaiju
I liked
movie.
every moment of this movie. I think I pretty much just enjoyed it the entire way.
It was so fun.
I can't remember the humans, but they were like fun in like a goofy kind of way.
I didn't like the whole podcaster guy. He was kind of dumb.
We really liked that guy when we watched it in studio.
It's true to life.
Conceptually,
Herm Protus is like the one black character. Herm, interesting.
It's not true.
He's such a stupid character. He's just like.
So I just didn't understand, like, I don't know. Conceptually, I like the idea of having like a conspiracy theorist, but like if they wanted to really do it fun, they should have doubled down and made him like a real maniac monster, not just like
he's like
parody
a good
of
guy.
it.
You should be trading those kids for like cryptocurrency or something.
Yes, literally.
We made Mechagodzilla using NFT funds.
But no, I mean, it was fine. Like the human stuff was pretty good in this. It's really crazy how like different. I didn't even recognize the what's her name from Stranger Things. I didn't even
Bobby Bob.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown.
11,
Bobby
yeah. I didn't even
Brown.
recognize her. She's aged so much. It's crazy. I was like, oh my god,
Can we
she's
just
like
say
an adult.
that Millie Bobby Brown kind of sounds like she does like hip hop in like 1991?
Yes,
It is.
yes, that sounds like such a hip hop name.
She was born 10 years too late.
Yeah.
I think I liked how I think all the human scenes were like under like 5 to 6 minutes. I don't think there was like any human scene that was necessarily longer than 10
They
minutes.
finally had
They
the good
knew.
idea of like, okay, we have to have these human scenes in here. Why don't we just make them funny? They always make them like
Yeah.
serious and horrible, but now they're just like, yeah, it's fucking stupid. Let's just.
I like how they're all the human scenes just continuously move the plot.
Yeah.
I found
Like, they
it.
don't seem to like slow down.
Like, speaking of like all the human scenes being funny, something I found very funny was every time the little girl was on screen, she was crying. Like, literally every time they showed her, she had a tear running down. It was like parody, like almost. It was great.
She was taken from
she
her
was feeling
home.
she was feeling
like-
she was feeling
She's
bad
like
for
the
Kong.
spiritual, like
She was
native
constantly.
character. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel for
I-
the beast.
I love how Kong is. I love how Kong is. The
He
main
literally
character
is.
of
Yeah, it's
this
really
movie.
He is. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
If this was, he's like if this was a superhero movie, Kong would be the superhero of this movie.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. He's the prime motif. I think that's like the best direction to go because it's like Kong has the most like humanity and character to him. Godzilla has never
also-
really been
he's
like.
also-
I mean, like
just like canonically weaker than Godzilla, so like Godzilla is like
Yeah.
made to be a threat still.
He's
yeah.
an underdog. I like that
Yes,
he's
yes,
like
yes,
an
yes.
underdog. Even the I love. Oh my. Okay, you know what? Maybe we should start getting into
Let's
like the
fucking go.
actual
Let's just
like
fucking
plot
go
beat
for
for
it.
beats.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right, cool.
fucking
All
go.
right, so this movie takes place like 5 years after Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is by the way like okay,
It's
right?
fine.
I completely had forgotten
and
the
this-
movie existed, and I did not see it. So I saw in the beginning of this movie, I saw
it's-
King Ghidorah. I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, King Ghidorah's into it? Oh fuck! Speaking about the beginning, I love it how like I think someone pointed it out when we were watching it together. Someone who's not in this podcast pointed out how it looks like tournament brackets.
Right.
Yeah, they literally
Like
do that.
when the monsters show up, and I love that because it's like that. That's how I kind of knew
Yeah,
I'd probably
it's like a
be really
boxing
liking
or
this movie because they
wrestling.
just knew from the they knew from the get go that like, all right, we know what you guys are gonna want to see, all right, and we're not gonna pretend that we're like above that. That this is just gonna be the giant
Come
monster.
get your
right?
fucking slop, kiddies.
Even at the beginning, like so at the start of the movie, Kong like wakes up. He takes a little morning
I love
shower.
that
He's
scene.
just
I
chilling.
love that
Yeah.
And he just and there's like the little girl, his little girl,
Girlfriend?
his little girl who
No,
is
no,
This
no,
little
no.
girl who is a friend.
his little girl who is a friend who speaks in sign language to them. They're just chilling, and Kong just grabs a tree and then he fucking throws it to the sky. And it turns out that he's actually in the Truman Show. He was in Truman Show
It
the
is
whole
Truman.
time. And this is not a joke. This is fucking Truman shit that they have set up on Skull Island, right? And then the humans show up, and I love how the first thing the humans say is like, "Oh, we can't let Kong out. We know he's gonna fucking fight Godzilla."
Yeah, so
Oh,
basically,
no.
like, if you haven't seen Skull Island, it is good. I'd say it's second to this. It's not
Yeah.
nearly as good as this movie, but it is still very good, and I liked it a lot. But yeah, so basically, they just like trapped Kong in like a virtual habitat. Because if he gets out of there, then I guess they figure Godzilla will sense him eventually, and they'll fucking.
Which makes literally no sense, but I'm okay.
They're,
fine.
they're
But we
stand
see
Like, I mean,
it
they-
happening.
They're
they-
like stand users. They just they have a
Gravity.
natural intuition to like
I
cross
think
each other's
the
paths.
explanation that they give in like previous movies, and I think it applies here, is that just like Godzilla and all the other like kaijus are just like so huge, their territory is
Right.
like massive. So if they feel there's like larger like creatures nearby, they're gonna want to
They
like,
say
like, fight each
there
other.
can't be two
right?
Alpha Titans. Alpha Titans will always
Yeah.
But-
Two
fucking
alpha
fight
titans.
but
Be
the
the Sigma Titan.
yeah, but the way it's like portrayed in this movie, it's more like power levels.
Yeah.
They can just sense
Yeah,
each
they can
other's
sense
chi,
them.
right?
Yeah.
So,
it's
one
literally
thing-
it's literally just like stands.
One thing I think Spork said it, like how Kong is just so much weaker than Godzilla. Like if Godzilla was put in a similar pen, it would be so easy for him to just like walk out. Like Kong, we see that he kind of makes an attempt by like we see it later on, like in that scene he had thrown a few more things at the wall, but like this guy is like trapped. Like this is actually a prison that works to keep Kong inside. Just like
it does work.
It's funny
with all his little island buddies.
And I remember my buddy. I remember hearing this movie get announced literally like 6 years ago. I remember this movie was announced, and like my one friend who's like the biggest Goji fan I know, he was like, first off, that movie's never gonna happen, and second off, it's fucking stupid because Kong is like literally like 30 feet tall and Godzilla is like 160 or whatever.
I gotta say, I love all like the memes that have come from this like, Godzilla cannot beat.
This movie came out. This movie came out like at a perfect time too, because the fucking monk meme was like popular, right? So when you see a giant monk versus a giant lizard, there is gonna be unironic giant monk fans.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a big monk fan as much as I love.
And I think I think Adam Wingard, the director. Like, I think he kind of understood what the original Godzilla vs. King Kong did, because in that one, like, Kong is, like, the underdog in that movie, too, right?
It's a prize
and, like,
fight.
I think they know that. Like he gets, like, power-ups and everything in that movie. And it's like styled like a wrestling match. And in this one, they kind of do that, too.
To me, there was one reference that was, like, so wonderful to me. It's a scene when he, like, shoves the butt of the axe down Godzilla's throat. Because there's a scene in the old movie where Kong takes a tree and he shoves it down Godzilla's throat.
Oh.
I was so happy that they did that little callback. I was like, yes!
Yeah.
There's no way they
so
couldn't have
awesome.
not done it.
I also okay wait, let's go on. So after we find out that Kong is in Truman's Show, we cut to Bernie, who is this black gentleman who runs the podcast.
Why is saying
this black
one thing my friend and I did when we watched this was we paused it and we read all of like the little podcast titles that show up, and one of them was like episode 249, Mothra pregnancy theory, and I was just laughing so hard at that.
Yeah. Oh, they should have added like Easter eggs in there. They should have named other monsters that like haven't shown up yet. That'd been really fucking rad. But anyway, Bernie apparently infiltrated this like our evil organization of the movie. Yeah, Apex Cybernetics, which is like the Tesla of this fucking universe, right?
If only there's
okay, no, maybe not Tesla.
No,
Boston Dynamics. They're closer to Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
If only our Bernie could do such a thing.
Yeah, if only our Bernie could like infiltrate
the U.S. White House.
I'm here to catch.
Okay,
that's part of the
okay, so wait, one other thing I want to say. So I went into this movie totally blind. I don't like watching trailers. I avoid spoilers because I love the surprise. I love to make a big soy face when I see a new thing. Right. And when I saw that they were in a cybernetics plant, I was like, oh, are they? Could they maybe do Mechagodzilla? No, they won't. They won't do Mechagodzilla.
They
fucking did it.
At first, when people were like theorizing that, I didn't think like, really, Mechagodzilla. I don't know. These films feel a little bit grounded. I mean, King of the Monsters was pretty fucking silly in a lot of moments, but I'm like.
So Protus, what did you think? Did you think like Godzilla and Kong would just fight and there would be a winner, or did you think they would unite to fight something bigger?
I did predict that because that's what you have to do in a movie like this. Same with someone. I was just talking to someone. They said that this movie has the same exact plot as Batman vs Superman. Literally exactly.
Protus. When we were watching the film together, like literally, like there's a Martha moment in this movie.
There is, yes.
There's a very like Martha moment.
But so what I thought was gonna happen was, because I think at the end of King of the Monsters, there's a tease where they have like some of Ghidorah's body, King Ghidorah's body. So I was like, oh, I think the logical thing would be Mecha Ghidorah, because that's like the.
Right.
So I was anticipating that the whole movie, having the Mechagodzilla reveal. I was like elated. Also not only was it Mechagodzilla, but it was taking like my favorite Mechagodzilla from like the late '90s, the one where you have to like get inside the suit to pilot it, and there's like a human pilot. Of course they do like the classic storyline. I was amped when I saw that.
I don't care if this happens later on. I want to talk about it now. It's so fucking cool that like, so to use this King Ghidorah, one of King Ghidorah's Ghidorah's skulls are like they have it like hooked up to like basically turn it into like a supercomputer, like a biological supercomputer, because I guess it's like kind of still alive in a way. And
It
so
has like
like,
a
Real Ava shit.
yeah,
It has like they say like the heads had a telepathic connection to each
Since
other.
they were so big and so far apart, they had to telepathically communicate. So
Beautiful. This like okay.
yeah,
when we
it
reached
was
this
so
point in the movie.
cool. Like God,
There had already been so much insane shit at this point, but this like it is so good. Like I was so happy when they were just like, we're gonna abandon any realism. Like we are just doing
they're actually
Final Wars.
thinking about it. Like this is fucking cool shit, and we're gonna like the kaiju are telepathic, and you can, and if you get a skull of it, you can hook up a computer and you can sit inside of it and you can pilot like a mecha.
It was fucking gorgeous.
Oh
I love like the scene with the eccentric billionaire just talking about Mechagodzilla.
The most interesting
Like,
man in
that
the
dude's a
world.
piece of shit.
I think another moment about this movie very being blatant is how like this corporation's name is just Apex,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wonder what they're creating, right? Like, oh, we're trying to create the Apex
Video games.
creature compared to Godzilla, right?
They make video
Apex,
games.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so Bernie infiltrates this Apex Center and he finds some shit about he finds like this weird machine which is later to be revealed like Mecha Godzilla's eye. And like it, but then Godzilla attacks the facility, and everyone's wondering like, oh, why is he attacking the facility, right? And it's assumed that
Because
maybe
Godzilla's
I
changed.
don't know,
He's
like,
not
Godzilla
nice
could-
anymore.
Yeah. So it at the end of King of the Monsters, like it implies that this was something even back with the 2014 Godzilla movie. They imply that Godzilla's like a hero because he always stops the bigger
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
kaiju,
there's a really
right?
great
lesser evil.
fucking headline in the movie that says Godzilla no longer our Titan savior.
I want to live in this movie universe.
I was so like I remember watching the original 2014 Godzilla, being so disappointed and being so baffled by like that ending after he kills the last Muto and he goes to the ocean and then the news article is all like Godzilla hero or
Yeah.
menace, and I'm like, what the
Have you
fuck?
seen what San Francisco
up to
looks like?
Godzilla in a minute, folks. I haven't
Up-
seen him.
up to-
Where's he at?
up to that point, it was like the movie was taking itself so fucking seriously, and then it goes with like, oh, is he like a superhero? Like, what the fuck? What?
It's the only
That
way
felt
we
like
can
very
think
like
about
company
things now.
mandate.
Yeah.
Oh god! But anyway, after that, I think the Millie Bobby Brown's character, like gets with her friend whose name is Josh, but they nickname him Tapwater because he's a fucking normie. And they're looking for Bernie because Millie is like a fan of like his like kaiju podcast, his truth or
Yeah.
kaiju podcast.
Very
And,
suspect.
and Millie's also she was in King of the Monsters, and her dad was low key like the main character, and her dad is only has 2 scenes in this movie, which I'm glad because that motherfucker was super
It was
uninteresting in
terrible.
King
He
of the
was
Monsters.
so boring.
He was basically a fucking Mary Sue in that movie. He solved everyone's problem every single time. God. But anyway, so yeah, they're doing their thing, and meanwhile, the evil Elon Musk guy is like, oh, he goes to this guy who studies like Hollow Earth, and no one believes him that Hollow Earth is real, and he's all like, we're gonna go to Hollow Earth, and we need your help, and he's all like, well, if you need me, we're gonna need King Kong because he might know how to get to Hollow Earth because we theorize that's where his ancestors come from. Also, here's Ren Serizawa, who's the son of Dr. Serizawa from the previous movie, and that familial connection is never relevant
At all.
ever in
It's
this
just,
movie.
like, we needed
Right,
to say
just
a
like,
Japanese
I-
name.
basically.
Yeah.
They could have just like gave him like a Chinese last name, like or something.
But
like,
he needs to
'cause
be
I
Japan.
thought-
It's Godzilla.
when I first saw him, I thought like, oh, he's gonna be piloting Mechagodzilla, and because he thinks Godzilla killed his father, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna use Mechagodzilla to just kill Godzilla. I don't care what anyone says, and I think that's what I thought. That's where it
Is
was
Dr.
going. but no, it
Serizawa
turns
in
out
any
that-
of the
Yeah, he's in 2014.
Is that
and
Ken
in, King of the
Watanabe?
Monsters.
Is that Ken
Yes,
Watanabe's
it is,
character? Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have to spoil this for
God.
sport because it's fucking hysterical. So there's a part in King of the Monsters where Godzilla's like really sick and he needs a big boost.
He goes to fucking Atlantis.
So he goes to Atlantis and he finds like the big nuclear like explosion like laser that's just coming out of Atlantis,
Oh, right,
and they need to like activate it to make Godzilla. They need to shoot a nuke at Godzilla to make him.
They need to recharge him.
So
Yeah.
so Ken Watanabe like swims there and he like meets Godzilla and he like has a moment where they look at each other in the eyes while he like like detonates this nuke to save him. It's so fucking funny.
It's so funny.
I hate God, they did a moment like that in 2014 too. I hate the moments where humans look inside Godzilla's eyes, because the thing is that Godzilla is a little bit more just kind of like instinctual, destructive creature. It makes sense with Kong.
He's a lizard.
It makes
He's a monk,
sense. Yeah, because even Kong's first story, it's established that he could have connections to humans, right? But like with Godzilla, it always felt weird.
Godzilla is a force. He's not much of a character.
Yes, here's a one of my favorite moments in the Heisei Godzilla movies were in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where this old like veteran from World War II is looking at Godzilla in the eyes from his building, and he thinks him and Godzilla have some sort of understanding, but Godzilla just fucking blasts his building down because he doesn't give a fuck, right? Because this is just an instinctual giant like monster creature, and I hate the moments where like, oh, Godzilla, take my energy, Godzilla. Like I fucking hate those moments.
Kind of like related to that one.
Doesn't work. I like
kind of disagree.
There's one moment that I really like, kind of related to that, where like there's a part later on where Kong like sticks his big old axe into Godzilla, and it looks like for a second that Godzilla is going to grab the axe with his hands, but he doesn't. He's an animal, and he grabs it with his mouth and throws it out, and I really like that.
He does not have opposable thumbs or anything.
He doesn't need. Yeah, Godzilla doesn't need tools.
True.
Kong does, but Godzilla doesn't. And okay, so anyway, the Hollow Earth guy is like, I'm friends with the lady from the beginning, and we're gonna go get Kong. I'm gonna convince her to move Kong to Antarctica because there's the giant hole that leads to Hollow Earth, and then they do that. And at first she's all like, oh, I don't know about this, but I don't know. Hollow Earth might be Kong's homeland. Who the fuck knows?
So there's this whole idea that they bring up where it's like, okay, Kong is our only hope. Like, we can control Kong enough to have him, like, save us from Godzilla. But then she's
girl
like,
can communicate.
He's an agreeable guy.
Yeah, but she's like, no.
Have a beer with Kong.
Yeah, she's like, no, don't hurt my Kong friend. We're trying to learn from him, and she is swayed over immediately to using Kong as a weapon. There's like 0 seconds between those.
She there's no like character development moment where she realizes maybe we shouldn't be using these animals for like selfish ends. No, it's just like she doesn't really even fucking. No one grows as a character, but that's fucking fine because we're not really here to see humans grow.
We're here to see them die.
We're here to see monsters grow and fight while they're growing.
Right, exactly. So, and I think I don't know if they say that here or later, but they say something like that. Oh, there's an energy source down there, and we need that.
There's unobtainium in the center of the earth, in the hollow earth.
Yeah, unironically unobtainium, right? So they put Kong on the boat.
Heavily sedate him.
There's a couple of
heavily sedate him.
Yeah, they heavily sedate him. They got him chained up on the boats, and they're sailing out to Antarctica, and they're avoiding all of the Godzilla like territories, right?
And then Evangelion, it becomes Evangelion episode 5 where
yeah,
Asuka
it does.
introduced.
You're right.
I was so excited.
And there's a couple there's like one emotional scene before that with like the little girl where like the little girl's all like, Kong thinks you're lying to him. He wants to go home, and then Kong
speaks. Kong like
fucking
Coco.
I fucking love that. Oh, base.
At this moment, I was like,
real. I don't care what anyone says.
At this moment, I was like, this movie's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, it can only get better from here. But yeah, so
and it does get.
We have this awesome like fight scene where they're like. I really love like this conceptually because it is just like the fight from Ava when Asuka comes in, because like Kong is he cannot go in the water. Like Kong is bad in water because he'll just drown. So he needs to jump from battleship to battleship, and it's so good. I was like cheering.
Oh yeah, that shit was so fucking awesome. It's weirdly like I think it's
very video game.
So genius.
Yes.
It feels very if you know how like Jackie Chan like loves to handicap himself in every fight. And like kind of like that makes the fight 10 times more interesting because you're like, whoa, how is Jackie Chan gonna get out of this one? He's in a fucking stare factory holding 5 babies.
They're transporting.
The sea is like Kong's version of like a ladder factory or something.
Yeah, like the fucking ocean is like the ladder factory, and Kong is Jackie Chan.
And during the scene, like Godzilla like just destroys so many boats. It looks like he destroys the entire fleet, but I guess they have more boats.
They might not actually.
No, they do.
He might.
I think there might be just. They
he
have one
destroyed
last
like a
one, though.
bunch of
The
boats, but in like the end scene, it's like, oh, there's like 20 more. Like there's like a huge ass fleet of boats.
But so okay, the other thing like I love about this, the other part that I cheered during this fight was when Kong like looks down and he sees a fighter jet and he's like, "I will throw this thing as a ninja star," and he does. He throws it like a fucking ninja star at Godzilla.
Oh, it's so good.
My two favorite scenes of this fight, besides like the one where he's like platforming on the fucking ships to get to the larger one, right, is the part where like he manages to fucking fling Godzilla off of the ship, and then Godzilla under is charging up his atomic breath.
Yes,
and Kong sees the light. He's like, "Oh fuck!" And he does like the action hero, like jumping off. And
I forgot about that until just now. Thank you for reminding me. I was crying.
That was so fucking awesome.
I was screaming. Actually, I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen." Like, I've never.
That was so fucking.
The first
cool.
like 10, 15 minutes of the movie, I was like a little like iffy, like what? It's kind of like the other ones that totally flipped me around. I was like, "This is gorgeous!" Like. I just want to see. I want to, like Wallpaper Engine, how you can get like a short like image that like video clip that like loops over. I want to get the scene where he jumps off away from the laser, has the action movie moment. Also, the other thing too I love about this movie is like there's so many close-ups on Kong's face, and we see so many facial expressions.
And Godzilla's face.
He's a sad guy.
Oh yeah, God! Later when Godzilla gives the fucking smirk, like,
yeah, Kong's face is like so human
scene.
and he's really expressive, and Godzilla just looks like a fucking monster. Like he looks like the
so
fucking
mad.
ugly bastard.
Godzilla has a few smirks. Like he does.
I love that Godzilla's like that. Like he's a fucking pseudo villain, right? That's fucking
it's perfect.
Great. We need more of that. Yeah, like not since like Shin Gojira, which is like not even like close, not even part of this other franchise. Like, have we had like a true kind of like Godzilla villain?
Godzilla
right?
is like
that's
humanized in this movie, but he's still like he's still evil. He's still like he looks evil as fuck.
I feel like this kind of reminds me back to my favorite moments in King of the Monsters was like the Ghidorah moments, because Ghidorah had such a personality.
I loved those bits.
Like each one of the heads had like a personality. Right, and I really love it. Like we never seen a Ghidorah like that, and I kind of and I maybe they got it from that. Like, oh, we gave Ghidorah a personality. Let's give Godzilla a little bit more of a personality. He doesn't really have a personality in King of the Monsters.
I think they were gonna give it to him because like he's the foil of Kong, so he's gotta be like his own person. He's just like a mean.
He's gotta be a little bit of it.
Okay, so after this fight, like Kong loses, like he almost drowns to death, but they manage to trick Godzilla into thinking that Kong is dead, and he swims away, right? And then that's kind of like, oh, we can't like use boats anymore because Godzilla's gonna come and like attack us again. It's like, okay, what about we helicopter him to Antarctica? And they do the balloon scene from the original Godzilla vs. King Kong too, and they bring him to Antarctica. Oh fuck, I forgot. There's I'm fucking forgetting all the Millie Bobby Brown scenes because like they're very like innocuous, right? Yeah,
they're really only there to do the Mechagodzilla reveal. Like then they're kind of like irrelevant.
Yeah, because she does meet up with the podcaster Bernie, and they go
her and the kid who turns evil in Deadpool 2 are like.
Yeah, they sneak back into the wreckage of the Apex like facility that Godzilla destroyed, and they find like a secret elevator, and they accidentally go inside some sort of like deep underground water tunnel thing that's like a hyper train to fucking Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's literally a hyperloop.
It's filled with like eggs from like kaiju, and they're like, what is this company doing with other kaiju? And when they get there, it turns out that they're using these kaijus as kind of like target practice for their Mechagodzilla that they're building in secret, right? And this is like the thing that Godzilla is like sensing and whatnot, you know.
I really like that. Like, I thought that was actually like a good plot element. Like, the only time Godzilla attacks is when they like activate the neural link. So it's like he thinks that Ghidorah is like alive again.
Right.
Oh yeah, that fucking makes sense actually. But anyway, we cut back to Antarctica, and they bring Kong there to the giant like metal hole they have, and Kong is kind of like, oh yeah, I ain't going in.
I love this scene. Kong discovering what snow is was also a great little moment. Like he'd never seen snow before.
Yeah, like he's like, what is this?
It's very much.
And then the little girl,
like an animal.
Yeah.
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 They have to. the little girl has to like lie to him, saying like there's maybe other Kongs out there, and that instantly makes King Kong want to go down there. And I think what I really fucking love is that this movie could have easily chose like so many like boring ways to show like little things, but like they could have easily just showed King Kong going into the hole and just running and then falling into the portal, but instead they show him like fucking swinging on like
he's swinging on
stalactites
girders that are inside the hollow earth
it
hole.
was girders.
And then he doesn't even he doesn't know where he's going. He just falls into a portal accidentally.
So hilarious, so fucking funny.
I thought at first it was like instinct, and then they go into the fucking portal from 2000.
Yeah, they go into the portal, which does not happen. They go like back and forth a little bit a couple times, but like this happens once where they go into the portal like from like 2001 for no reason.
Made no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
It's just like I assume it's like that energy source they were talking about, and it might as well function.
The white
like
guy
a portal,
protagonist
right?
is like, yeah, my brother tried to go in Hollow Earth, but he got killed by like a gravity inversion, which is like the planet's gravity switches and crushes you to death, I guess. And so we have these like special like shuttles that can go through it, but
they're called like heaves.
But it's not. Yeah, they're called heaves. But it's not a. It doesn't look like a gravity thing. They just go into the portal from 2001 and then they're there.
I guess just maybe the ship is built out of special.
Also,
so
it would have been so funny.
It
It would have been hilarious to me if, like, when they go through the portal, they just look at Kong and he's completely flattened, just like bloody, with like a stain on the ground.
We did not know if Kong would survive the trip, but.
He fucking just died.
Yeah, so they go through the portal and then they come out like in the sky of Hollow Earth, so they're just falling. And Kong's falling too, and they're like, "Oh fuck!"
It's like I like how Hollow Earth looks
really
too. It's
cool.
like there's two. There isn't really a sky. There's like clouds, but like behind the clouds,
there's
the
inside of the Earth,
down
and then
planet,
there's a space, and then there's a different planet inside of it. That's like the Hollow Earth planet. So there's like
this is when you need to really turn your brain off because like I literally could not comprehend what was happening.
It was so cool.
So, okay, just to, like, really quickly do logistics. So they go through the hole, then they start falling, and then they flip. So they were at the top level, then they flip and they're on the bottom level. Then there's a part where Kong goes up to a tall mountain, and then he flips again. So then they're flipped again. And then they go through a portal to China, but we don't actually see them do a portal again. They just, like,
there's no
go
portal.
through a hole.
Yeah, the portal was not necessary.
Why was there only one portal?
Faster. I don't know.
Wait.
I'm so confused.
No, what? Okay, God, you skipped a bunch of other.
I know. I'm sorry.
Parts.
Yeah, we did.
Kong explores Hollow Earth a little bit.
Wait,
he finds like these giant flying cobra creatures.
Yeah,
they
the
were
fucking
sick.
flying cobra, like King Cobra, but it's like flying and it has like bat wings instead of like the things.
The little flanges on the side of its head are like wings,
that was pretty
right?
sick.
So sick.
Right. And then after that, like Kong is like goes to like the more kind of like fresh land created by the volcanoes, and then he sees like floating rock, and then it's like this weird gravity inversion place where Kong could just like slightly fly up because the gravity is like loose, and there's like land on the upside down side. There's also like a stone
there's like
hand too.
It's like the body of like a giant ass like kaiju that's just way bigger than like Godzilla or Kong.
Just imagine me cheering the entire time I'm watching this whole
Yeah, we were
scene.
cheering too. We were like, monkey fly!
It's like a Peter Pan moment.
And then he gets to this ancient Kong temple that's like his ancestors built, and there's like a Kong handprint, and there's like a door, and he just at first we were gonna think that like
there's
he's
like
press his hand on it,
ancient
it's gonna
technology. The
activate,
Kongs
but...
are like super smart, is what I was thinking.
No, it's just a door.
But it kind of is
so
though. Like they kind of are like.
Only a Kong could open that
True.
door, right? Because Kongs are strong enough.
It's like in Hunter x
that.
Hunter.
And he goes in. Yeah, he goes inside, and inside is like a Kong palace, and there's like a king throne, and Kong goes sits on
Amazing.
it. Right?
Another moment.
Because he's fucking.
There's a
King
skull crawler
Kong,
there
right?
with a giant axe. That's like a bone of a bigger creature and like a Godzilla scale.
Okay,
as the
here's
blade.
Yeah, the Godzilla dorsal fin. Yeah, Godzilla dorsal fin that's been fashioned into an axe.
Yeah.
Right? It's like an ancient Kong weapon, and like Kong just knows,
He's
like
like, yeah,
he
I
just
kind of want
instantly
to
knows what it is. it's like his Thor hammer. That's like another
it
thing
literally
to
is like
whole,
Storm.
Kong is like the superhero. Yeah, Kong is the superhero.
So one thing that like I know I shouldn't think about this. Please shame me for thinking about it. But like we can see that there's a bone and there's a scale, but there's also like some sort of like leather that is fashioned and is wrapping around it. Who did this? Did a Kong like create leather?
This. Yeah, the Kongs are really
and he,
smart
like, wrapped
because Kong can charge the axe in like a little slot for the axe. And then there's like a big glowing like Godzilla thing that like turns around it and charges it up with Godzilla energy.
Yeah.
It's like the Godzilla species was like the dragons they would slay,
or something like that. And so this, like, I was like, okay, so this is like setting up. Oh, there's also a big Kong statue that you see like once.
Yeah. Okay, they show that like near the end of this. I was like, how did I not notice? Why
they
they
didn't
not
show it
this?
before that, but yeah, there's a giant ass statue.
It was. I think it was probably in the background though. The scene was pretty dark. Like all you could see was like the lava glow.
So I was like, okay, so this is like the Kongs are like clearly like human level or beyond intelligence. So I feel like the Kongs have like evolved and like left Earth.
They're like planet.
Yeah, I feel
like the Kong is just like a child that just never received an education.
Right.
So he's just
so the sequel of this movie is them like meeting up. Like they're using like the Kong like technology to like travel to different planets and shit. That's what I'm imagining it's gonna be.
Yeah, the sequel, a spaceship crashes and it's a Kong that's like intelligent to talk, and he says, "Space Godzilla is coming," and then he like knocks out. Right? I wouldn't put it past them.
They could definitely.
But anyway, so
Kong
Kong is just chilling in his palace. Meanwhile, on regular Earth, Godzilla shows up to Hong Kong, and he's like, I guess he senses that like Kong activated the dorsal fin axe, and he shoots his atomic breath just straight through the crust of the Earth to get the
straight through the Earth,
which is really fucking. Which is
awesome.
really ridiculous. Which is that's incredibly ridiculous, but also it. My theory is that maybe Godzilla hit like that weird portal stuff, and that's what kind of like made it.
Yeah,
easier,
the portal
right?
seems like a shortcut or something, and I don't know. It doesn't make any.
Right. So while that's going on in the Kong Palace, like they're being shaken by that portal. I mean, it's only happening because the whole time that was like the Kong team, the Kong humans, they had like the daughter of like the evil Elon Musk guy, right? And or why did I say evil Elon Musk? But anyway, she's like there, and they get like a sample of energy, and they're like, wait, you can't take that energy source, which like, I mean, what?
Yeah,
who cares?
This is sacred. You can't take it.
Like
why?
They need it. They need it because they're gonna use it to power up Mechagodzilla because he needs a larger energy source. And like I think what the robot does is I think he just kind of copies
it studies it, and then they're like, oh yeah, we can just copy this, and then they do it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we already know what the chemical sequence is. We can just do this. So they send it to they send it up to the Chinese facility, and meanwhile in Hong Kong, Millie Bobby Brown and Bernie and Josh get captured by the Apex security, and they're all like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, oh, we're gonna expose Mechagodzilla, and at the same time they get like the they get the fucking sample. Or do they get it later?
They just like scan it. They literally this is one of those things like in another movie like when they broke off a piece of the sample it would just blow up the temple or something. In this movie they just don't care. They just want to have a fun fucking like monster fight. So they just send all these bats in to fight Kong. Right. But yeah, all they do is they scan
these bats were like
they just like
all it does is
scan
it scans the makeup of it, and then Hong Kong can reproduce it.
I think I'm jumping ahead of myself.
You kind of are.
But anyway,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to tell this movie because like there's only 3 important scenes in this whole movie. So that being said, Godzilla blows a giant fucking hole through the earth that reaches the Kong Palace, and then Godzilla roars into the giant hole, and Kong hears him, and then Kong's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck up this motherfucker," and he grabs his dorsal fin, he jumps in there and uses the axe to like. To slow down his momentum falling in, and he comes out of the hole, and him Godzilla have fucking round 2, right? And
also,
this shit is so
Hong Kong is
so
like a
backdrop
bad. Is so great.
Hong Kong
it is sick.
Fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Another Ava reference too, like the facility that Apex uses just looks like the Geofront. Like it is just like a big pyramid structure, like with a bunch of green around
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
It's so much. Did Adam Wingard also do Kong Skull Island, or was that someone else?
No, that was someone else.
Okay, because I know he said he was inspired by Ava with the monster designs in that movie.
I mean, he clearly seemed to be
They
like...
kind of do, yeah. The skull crawlers kind of look like...
I you know that he was supposed to, you know that he asked James Rolfe to
I
cameo
heard!
in this movie? Yeah,
what?
But he yeah, he didn't do it because his second daughter was born recently, and he's like, I gotta be a father. I can't go and do that, right? And I'm like, fuck,
go home
sucks.
and
But,
be a family
yeah,
man. Holy shit.
Yeah, so
What's the
Adam Wingard
He was gonna cameo.
The angry video game there.
James Rolfe is a big ass like Godzilla nerd. He's like a nerd for all that shit.
Okay.
Right? So I wouldn't put it past it that Adam Wingard is like a fan of like all the James Rolfe like giant monster retrospectives.
Oh.
It's like, oh yeah, James Rolfe said that James Rolfe was probably one of the bigger figures who wanted a remake of Godzilla vs. Kong. He would always talk about it. He would be like, yeah, when are they gonna remake Godzilla vs. Kong? And Adam probably picked that up and said like, oh,
This is
I'll
definitely
make this
just
guy
like a straight
cameo.
up sci-fi movie. Like this movie clearly was not
I mean-
too fucked with by the executives, or else we wouldn't get shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I fucking like that. Like I wish more movies weren't so fucking narrowed down to like a specific genre. Realize it could be like multiple things at the same time. Like kaijus are kind of inherently like fictional, science fiction or fantasy. So you could just mix a shitload of different things in there. It shouldn't matter. It's all different spices, you know. But that being said, so Godzilla and Kong have their like next fucking fight. It's really great. I love what's your guys like favorite moments from this first Hong Kong fight?
There's so many
which is, like, the
wonderful
second fight in
scenes.
the
Like
There's so many.
the axe alone. The second that Kong had the axe, I was like, this needs to get buried into Godzilla, like somehow. Like
Yes.
I need to see him like make contact with his body.
He fucking shanks like one of Godzilla's little meaty thick thighs with it.
yeah. Like okay, so during this fight, like if you watch this with other people, like you'll just be like talking. You'll just maybe making up lines for Godzilla and King Kong, and it's really good.
Because it just
I distinctly remember
They're just
doing
people. They're
that.
just people just fucking fucking
they,
each other up.
they have personalities.
Yeah.
I fucking love it that they have.
It's such a
personalities
dirty
that when they
fight too. Like
This
they get
is when
really
you get
down
to
and dirty.
see.
Yeah.
This is.
I love them.
Yeah,
Go
Kazoo.
Go
They're
Kazoo.
two animals, right? Yeah, go Kazoo.
Oh, this is when you get to see like Godzilla really emote. It's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fun. Like he's been like
Godzilla's-
a big hulking lizard for most of this.
Godzilla's like a real fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he smiles and he's just like, yeah.
He's smirky. He's like, yeah. what you gonna
The
do?
part that when he smirks is fucking great too, because like so at one moment like after Kong stabs the axe into Godzilla, like he loses it and Godzilla like fucking flings it away, right? And then Kong's like, fuck, he doesn't have his axe, and then Godzilla just atomics breaths and Kong's like running away. He's like swinging and climbing
Yeah,
on
multiple
different-
Oh, that was
times.
awesome.
Trying to get
He
away.
just does the Godzilla
he get-
in like a horizontal like circle, and he just has to run
Yeah.
from it. You can't.
And Kong, and at one point it skims the back of Kong, and that's when Godzilla like smirks. So like, ah,
Oh, when there was one moment
Right?
that comes to mind. I was watching it with my friend, and he pointed this out. Like, so there's a part where when Godzilla's running away from the big beam, the atomic breath, he goes on top of a building and he grabs like a circular.
Right.
It looks like a big cylinder.
okay. Oh wait, Kong runs
Oh
away
wait,
from
yeah,
the beam.
sorry, what did I say? But yeah, Kong's running away and he grabs like a big cylinder and it looks like a shield and he kind of uses it to block the atomic breath for a second. And my friend was like, "Is he gonna have like a shield in the axe?" And unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Fucking
But
God of
that
War,
moment
yeah.
was great. Yeah, him saying that
Oh,
made
it's-
me very happy.
He fucking he like Kong when he grabs the axe and Godzilla's about to like fire and he hits him on the head with it. It's like
Yeah.
when fucking Thor hits like Captain America's shield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
It's like that boom and then both
since
ricochet
it's
back.
since it's a Godzilla fin, whenever he can get charged up by Godzilla breath energy and use it to
It's
do like a
beautiful.
super strong attack.
It's beautiful.
It seems like it could like it could absorb the breath like and the atomic energy from like Godzilla, so
Yeah.
Kong won't get.
There's
fucking
something
hurt.
so wonderful
And,
about the fact that like they don't ever need to explain the axe. Like
Right.
you understand it just because it glows, and like you understand. Okay, it recharges, and like it would
Got-
easily.
We already seen Godzilla just glow,
Yeah.
right? We recognize the color and everything. It's kind of crazy how it's silly, but it makes
Yeah,
sense.
It's
right?
wonderful.
Like,
yeah,
oh,
it just works. It
This
just
is how
fucking
they
works.
killed Godzilla.
Why wouldn't like the dorsal? Why wouldn't the dorsal fin absorb atomic energy when it's being hit? Why the fuck not? You know, Godzilla could absorb being nuked, right? So
Yeah. At one point,
and
Kong hides on like the top of a building. And like Godzilla's like looking for him, and then he just like he throws like a big crane to hit a building behind him, so Godzilla turns around and then he jumps on him. It's just so
awesome.
It's so fucking funny.
just to fucking distract him. And then there's like, okay, there's that one moment where like Godzilla, King Kong is on his back and Godzilla's trying to like snap his toes and Kong is like fucking like crawling backwards like to get away from them. And then that's the part where like Godzilla pins him and he's like slashing his chest and he pins him down. He's like clearly crushing his ribs. And Kong's like, Kong's trying to get up, but he can't. He's so weakened. And Godzilla like screams in his face and Kong screams back to try to like.
It's the fucking Martha moment.
Fucking scared. It's the
Save Mothra.
Save Mothra. How do you know that name?
How do you know that
Also,
name?
I love like the weight of Goji just like stepping on King Kong. To me, that was like, oh, I felt that. Like that was so
He's
visceral.
a thick bitty.
He's cutting him with his claws and just fucking him up.
We're so emotionally attached to like
this monk,
like King
this
Kong,
big
you know?
ape.
So we feel we don't want him to get hurt.
It's funny because going into this movie, I'm such a bigger Godzilla fan. And I was like, oh, I want Godzilla to win. But after the movie like humanizes the ape, I'm like, yes, give me Kong.
Because Godzilla will just win. Like even though he has the axe, Godzilla is just too fucking tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta cheer for King Kong. He's the clear underdog of this movie. And then after that, Godzilla like pins. He has him into submission, and Godzilla, you know, he's a fair fighter. Yeah. He's a fair fighter. And he's like, all right, I'm off.
Godzilla is very much like a Goku type, like a Saiyan. He's all like, yeah, this isn't fun anymore. I'm gone.
He's a real tsundere in this
there's
moment.
A reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Godzilla is like the last surviving of his species, because he's a pretty nice guy. He wasn't like vengeful like the other ones.
He just wants to teach Kong his place. Like he came back twice, and he's like, all right, I got you this time. So
I think he like Godzilla didn't show up to Hong Kong for Kong anyway, so it's like he probably just doesn't care too much, right? Meanwhile, back at the Apex like secret final boss pyramid layer, They put the new energy source in Mechagodzilla, and Ren Sarazawa was kind of like, oh, we can't try it now.
We haven't tested it yet.
Then Elon Musk is like, oh, get in the fucking Ava.
Or Ray will have to.
He goes in, get in the Ava, or Millie Bobby Brown is left. So anyway, they activate Mechagodzilla, but like they guess like it goes wrong, and it seems to imply that. Right. Now King Ghidorah is in control.
So
of
what I thought is,
Godzilla,
since they were inside the skull of King Ghidorah, which is still kind of alive and telepathic, it's the energy overloads the Sarazawa guy, and he seems to die. Maybe we don't know if he's like we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Don't know what the fuck happened to him. They never go back.
Yeah,
prediction. Next movie, he's gonna come back and he's gonna have like a connection to Space Godzilla, like mental connection.
He's gonna be an evil. He's gonna
the artificial Godzilla goes berserk. And it seems like since Mechagodzilla is just fucking up with just killing people, it seems to me that King Ghidorah, like I keep fucking mispronouncing it, but King Ghidorah is fucking taking over. He's in the machine.
Yeah.
Just call him Monster Zero. That's what the movie wants to call him.
Yeah.
They can call him Monster Zero or King. It doesn't fucking matter. But anyway, and Elon Musk dies. Also, his daughter died earlier. Like Kong.
Oh, that was really funny.
When it crushed it. That was pretty base. Yeah, I'm like, oh, thank God. They all fucking died. So Mechagodzilla is on his rampage, and Godzilla sees him, and he's like, what the fuck is that shit? The fuck?
Yeah, Godzilla is always just like, oh, here we go again. And just see some motherfucker. Just like...
they have all...
He's just a being of hatred. Like, all he does is hate and
every
attack.
Motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. So they fight, but Mechagodzilla is fucking... This is Godzilla way coming back from, like, just fighting... He's fucking tired from the Kong fight, and Mechagodzilla is like fully charged with the new energy source, and he's like fucking beating the shit out of
beating
Godzilla.
His ass really bad.
Kong is unconscious, and the humans on the Kong side are like oh fuck, like we gotta help Godzilla. Only person can help him is Kong, but Kong's unconscious. And then the one white guy,
I forgot about this part.
Is like,
yeah,
the one Hollow Earth white guy was kind of like, I know, we're gonna use our like super awesome like anti-gravity like ships,
overload
the
the reactor
reactivate
and just
Kickstart his heart.
That would like. Yeah. Right, exactly. So they do that, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that they reuse that. Heave. They reuse it in the end in the script, right? So it's not like, oh, we're just gonna forget this shit existed. But yeah, so Kong like wakes up, and then his little friend is like, the little human girl is like, oh, you gotta, like, Godzilla isn't the enemy, that thing's the enemy, you gotta help him. And Kong's like, and then he fucking pushes his bone, his shoulder, which got like fucking,
oh my god, pulled. That was another amazing moment.
He fucking pulls. Yeah, he hits a building to jab it back in. He's like, all right, I fucking love that.
This is such a that is such a action hero like cliche moment, and it's amazing.
They did
when
not
you
need to put that in there. Like nobody would have thought his shoulder got dislocated and needed to be reset.
I love every moment where they like want to humanize Kong just a little bit.
It goes such a long way. Like just these little moments make me love the monkey more than I've ever loved him.
Yeah, so Mechagodzilla has Godzilla by the ropes. He's gonna fucking use his like laser breath into Godzilla's mouth. He's gonna fucking kill him just like Godzilla killed like the Mitos and King Ghidorah.
With that, yeah.
And then Kong shows up, grabs him, and they fucking start like double TV Mechagodzilla, right? Like,
did we?
It's the scene from
does he do the what's the part where he does like the beam? They have like a beam fight. Like is that?
Yeah, they have.
Is that before Kong enters? I think it was before Kong enters.
That's before
because he's losing.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla's beam is like red and also way more powerful than.
It's an instant shot. Like he doesn't have to like charge it up as long as
Wait, was it Mechagodzilla who grabbed Godzilla's head and fucking smashed it into a building, then smashed it into another one, then smashed it into a third one?
Yes. Oh, that was so
I
awesome.
fucking love that. Yeah, Mechagodzilla is fucking brutal because he has like human-like moves.
He also has like the Pacific Rim. He has like the Pacific Rim like hand that is like a plasma cannon thing on it.
He's got multiple.
Yeah.
He's got the fucking twister.
Well, it's not a laser. It's like a concussive blast that comes out of his face.
He has like a drill tail too. Yeah. So they're going at him and at first it seems like it's going good, but Mechagodzilla is still too strong for King Kong and Godzilla. So Millie Bobby Brown, Josh, and Bernie are like, oh, we gotta like we're still inside the headquarter pyramid. We gotta like find a way to like deactivate Mechagodzilla, and they can't figure out no way. And then Josh has the genius idea of just like pouring like they have alcohol with them, and they pour it on the computer,
it's
and
a sort
that
of Chekhov's gun.
stuns like
what's his name? He set up that his wife gave him some alcohol, some whiskey, and he's like, all right, I'm going to die, so I'm going to die drunk. And then he takes out his
and then Josh is like, oh, whiskey, and he grabs it and he pours it, and he's like, oh fuck, now I'm gonna die sober
with 2 kids. I'm gonna die sober.
I thought I would die with adults.
That's the whole movie.
That kid literally saves the day with that
by wasting some fucking Johnny Walker Black.
That stuns Mechagodzilla for a second, and then like Kong has like his axe, but he can't really do much because it's not charged. And then Godzilla sees the axe and he blasts the axe, and that charges it up, right? Yeah. So that makes the axe strong enough for Kong to like fucking slice off like Mechagodzilla's
and then the oil
and his fucking like knee.
He just goes
the oil and fucking slice it, and then he just goes
that's
fucking
it.
like
that's it. Once he can cut off his arms, he's just like, yeah,
it's over.
Done.
He fucks up Mechagodzilla and then rips off his head. And then, at first I was thinking like, damn, I was kind of hoping they would have like a combo finisher move. But now I'm thinking like, you know what? It kind of makes sense because Kong is the main character, and he's been so like fucked up so hard throughout this whole film. Like every like fight he needed like human.
He needed
help.
a W.
At one point,
let this monkey have a W.
Right, he needed like a W.
And he still did it with Godzilla's help.
He did. He did it. I mean, he did it with Godzilla's help, and then like that's how he manages to like the solo Mechagodzilla just wreck his shit, right? Then Mechagodzilla is destroyed, and then like they're all like, whoo! Then like Kong like fucking is just chilling, and then Godzilla rises back up, and he looks at Kong, and now it's like, oh shit, it's gonna be
Round
another fight.
3.
And Kong's like, oh fuck. Yeah, but then Godzilla's all like, haha, you alright. And then he goes
Yeah,
I
and
he-
really,
he
really,
turns
really thought a
around
fist
and then
bump was gonna happen.
you see King Kong in the background over Godzilla's shoulder as Godzilla's walking into the
Yeah.
scene. And it's like,
Yeah.
God, this is fucking.
It's fucking
incredible.
awesome, yeah. And he goes, and like, yeah, and then all the humans get back. It's all good. And then now there's like a new research. Now Kong isn't in the Truman Show area no more. Now he's like in Hollow
Yeah.
Earth, and they're studying him there. And he's like finally home, and that's the fucking end. Like,
That's
and I
it.
kind of like how just after that it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. We don't need to like
Yeah.
drag. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Who
Who
cares
cares about
if
the other
Ren
people?
Who cares if Ren Sarazawa is okay
Right.
or
Yeah.
anything?
I certainly
Who
don't.
cares? Who fucking cares if like the Hollow Earth guy gets with the King Kong like woman who studies like King Kong? Who fucking cares about that shit? It don't fucking matter. And then it just ends, and I'm like, oh, that was fucking
Yeah,
great.
was so wonderful.
I was begging for a post-credit scene so that we can get like some indication of what we'll get next because I
Oh,
really want
yes.
more.
Oh my god. There's like, yeah, unironically, if they go into like the direction that Adam Wingard is like taking it, like just fucking go on more of this like ridiculous
Destroy,
sci-fi
yeah.
like quasi fantasy shit. No, I don't want Destroy. Destroy should be like part 5. I want actually.
Violante,
Okay, I guess
Violante.
before we go into like what we want, is there anything else we should say about the movie?
I just want to say like, since I didn't see King of the Monsters, Cheesy told me we were watching this together. Kazoo, Cheesy, and I, and Protus watched it with his own friend. But I was like, so he said that like there was like a machine that can control the kaiju, and I was like, okay, so we're
Yes.
gonna get these two little girl characters controlling Kong and Godzilla fighting each other. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Oh god!
In a lesser movie, it would have been.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It seems like they're like,
okay.
yeah.
You know, it's so crazy how those characters never meet each other.
Yeah.
I was so
hilarious.
thinking that Millie Bobby Brown is gonna meet with the little deaf girl, like they're gonna like
Right.
become friends, but it doesn't happen. It's like, that's interesting. But I mean, I'm glad that just the focus
Yeah.
was the kaiju's, right? That was ultimately for the best, right?
Yeah, they could have
But,
cut some of like the lengthy like humor scenes for the humans. I thought that some of the humor was pretty bad, but
I liked it because it was just
But it was, like,
just kind
okay.
of cringe and funny. It was really like awkward comedy type thing. And
Yeah.
I didn't
Hey,
like
I'm fucking British and I'm scared.
That was for the fucking I don't know. That's for the fucking Marvel fans.
yeah,
Yeah.
they need their little quips.
You gotta get them in there.
Then, I need my clips. I can't watch my superhero films without clips. And this is basically a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a
basically.
superhero movie with kaiju's, and I fucking love
The one
that.
thing that I think they missed, like the one thing I would have changed if I was in the writing room, was the second that Kong's heart gets restarted, they should have played "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue. That would have been fucking hilarious. I would have gone out to buy copies of this movie.
You know?
Oh, you know what I also like is that every time like there's a fight is finished with Godzilla and Kong,
Yeah.
I think it's the Hollow Earth guy who says it. Like I think he says in the first one, he's kind of like, "Damn, Godzilla won this round," and then in this one is all like, "Ooh, Kong won the second
yeah,
round."
they're keeping track.
Right? Wait, so they're keeping track of like this is like for the fight, right? This is a tournament bracket style system, right? And like, sure, like in a lesser movie, I probably would have said, yeah, fighting Mechagodzilla was a cop out, but like that was just so interesting and integral to the plot that like I don't really care that it was kind of a cop out.
It certainly
Like-
is, because I remember looking at the marketing of this movie. As I said, like, didn't look at anything beforehand, but then afterwards, and my friend had told me, like, they said there would be a winner, and like one of the like taglines of the movie is "One will stand" or something like that. And so they
That's-
really were
yeah,
implying
it's
that
false
there would be like
advertising.
a real winner, which to me, as like I didn't know this at the time, but like I knew for sure that there was gonna have to be like a combined thread, because like every superhero story is like the superheroes meet, they fight, and then they team up to fight someone else. That is just like ever since like the fucking
Right, yeah, exactly.
1930s. This is how superhero stories have been.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, we're in a post Batman v Superman era. It kind of reminds me of the animated movie Sing, where there was like no winner to the singing contest. Like they all won, right?
I gotta say, before we move too far with the comparison to like superhero movies, the best part about Godzilla vs. Kong is that they're cool, they fuck, and they don't have any Whedon-esque dialogue between them. It's just
beautiful.
Oh god, I'm so. I think Kong is like the perfect superhero because he doesn't fucking.
It's
talk.
great. It honestly is perfect. Like as I
Shut
said
the
before,
fuck
like
up and get your man meat on the screen, buddy. I want to see some action.
like everything he does is like perfectly communicated. Like the scene when he gets the axe, you're like, yes, pick that up, and then you see the throne, you're like, yes, sit down, and then you see the hole for the axe, and you're like, yes, charge the axe up so you can kill Godzilla, and I'm just like, yeah, you don't need words for this.
Right.
Oh god.
Harkens back to the era of silent movies.
Yeah.
Very in the style of Fritz Lang, this movie was.
very
Kong
new
has
wave,
his
this
fucking
movie.
Buster Keaton moment.
Fucking in the next movie they go to Metropolis and they fight against the robot chick.
Who's in it for like
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Right, exactly. But fuck, I was gonna say one more thing. I think something I started to realize recently is that I like it when my superhero movies are like extra silly,
Yes.
and I think the problem with like human superhero movies in comparison and like live action superhero movies is that because they're human, like people think they need to be serious, but like in very like awkward ways.
Yeah.
Like no, there's only a handful of people who really know how to intricate like the silliness of a superhero, but like with like realism or seriousness that makes sense.
Even if they
Right?
are like silly,
that-
it's like they always try to play it off like, huh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Your name is Ant.
Right, exactly.
Like,
I think with the MCU movie, like even though they say funny things, like they're still kind of like embarrassed of like their outfits because they're always like muted colors. Even the fucking MCU muted. That's why like my favorite like superhero movies are like the ones that are a little bit more sillier, or like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man or like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just really fucking dig that shit. And the thing with kaiju is that you have no choice but to be silly, right? And I think that was the problem with all previous.
You could do it like 2014 Godzilla.
Which remember in 2014 they like
which sucked.
they keep doing this thing where they like wouldn't show the
Right.
monsters like that, and I remember people were at the time were like, this is like a bold direction, like to not show the monsters. Like no, it's bad.
In my
It's a bad
theater,
direction.
people were laughing
Everybody's-
when they cut away because it in some scenes
Yeah.
it looks comedic because it's like Godzilla's about to clash with the monster and then it cuts to it like smaller on a TV and it's just funny. It's just like,
I got so fucking heartbroken the first time 2014 Godzilla cut away because it's all like, oh yeah, here's Godzilla, and then cuts to like a little kid in the room watching it, and it's like, why did they need to cut? We know what Godzilla looks like.
I don't think they knew
We
how to
know
make
what
it.
Godzilla
It was just a
looks like.
shame.
I don't
to
think
be
they knew how to
Godzilla.
make it look good enough because
Yeah,
that movie was
well-
also really dark and shit.
Yeah.
But in this one,
I
they just
fe-
put
I
it
feel
like,
like,
Well, that's what I mean.
broad daylight.
That's what I mean. They're like embarrassed. They're like
are.
embarrassed that they had to make a kaiju movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna make the serious kaiju.
Well,
movie. Fuck.
I think the
All-
big takeaway is that everybody tries to do Godzilla 1954 again. You know, they try to make it like the
Right.
human element of like, oh, this is so fucked
I-
up. Godzilla is a metaphor, and it's like,
Unironically, that only ever worked like once, and that's like Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
the Japanese
Only
can
time
do
it
that.
fucking worked.
Americans do not know what the fuck.
Yeah.
It's
it's
so
like.
removed from the
I-
context of the initial like metaphor of the character that just dig into the final wars, dig into the cheesy
Yeah.
bullshit with
It-
like
it's-
Jupiter
like-
people and shit.
Like I think I mentioned again in another podcast I mentioned how if you watch the original Gojira 1954 and compare it to original 1954 King of the Monsters, Gojira is like more like a natural disaster movie, like a based on a real tragedy movie, and the American King of the Monsters is more like a monster movie. It feels a little bit more fictional. It's more dramatized and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that as kind of a big negative, but then like this movie, it's kind of like, okay, but what if we just ran with it? What if we just ran with how silly this is to us Americans, right? You know, we could never get like the metaphor that is Godzilla ever. Why even fucking try to get it? Let's just fucking run with how fucking silly it is to us. Like that.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
fucking awesome.
and I mean, the original King Kong did sort of have like a message as well, but
It did, but like, I don't think you could. I don't
Yeah,
think you
I
could
mean-
do that.
surely it
What-
was
you-
beauty that
like-
killed the beast.
The only message is like, the only like consistent message with like any kind of King Kong related movie is like, oh, we
shouldn't
shouldn't
fuck
try
with
to
him.
like, we shouldn't put animals in zoos, basically, like what it comes fucking down to, if you think about it. That's why, like, at the end,
leave it alone.
The habitat. That's why at the end, Kong is in Hollow Earth, which is a much larger space for him to roam around, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about what we want from MonsterVerse movies, because there's like a hashtag currently going around called "Continue the MonsterVerse," because Adam Wingard said that like they're not even sure if there's going to be a movie after this, because they're not even sure people are that interested in movies.
What I want Gigan and Megalon to come back down to Earth, and like Kong and Godzilla to fight them, and then Jet Jaguar shows up as well.
I want like Space Godzilla, which might just be a retread of like King Ghidorah, but what I would also want is Megalon. Like I feel like it'd be cool if Megalon showed up in Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Right, and there's like in the original Godzilla vs. Megalon, like Megalon was the monster of like an ancient like race of humans. Yeah. What if like in Hollow Earth there's like a race of like insect people that look like tiny Megalons, and they have their Megalon is their god. Yeah. It's like their kaiju that they sent out.
They say
so
that the Hollow Earth is vaster than any ocean.
So. Yeah, that rocks. Like Kong can be dealing with a fucking Megalon, and then Godzilla could be dealing with somebody. Gigan or anybody else.
Bring me Gigan.
I love Gigan. I want it to be Gigan. It could be anybody else. As long as it's not Ebirah. Like
Ebirah would be fine as like a cameo.
As like a cameo, yeah.
Wait, wasn't Ebirah in King of the Monster or whatever the last one was?
I think so.
Ebirah was the crab, right?
Yeah, he's just a fucking giant lobster.
There's like a couple of like kaijus in King of the Monsters that I would want to come back. I would want Rodan to come back. I want Malfra to come back. I also want that giant mammoth thing with like the gorilla hands to come back. That shit. I guess spoiled for you, Spark. But there's like at the end, like you see one kaiju is like a mammoth with like giant like monkey arms.
Bring in King Caesar, or better yet, my actual favorite. Bring in Biolante somehow.
I was gonna say my prediction would be. We could do a Biolante. I mean, there's like a lot of weird stuff that you don't need to do to like start the story. Like the first act would just be like scientist bullshit, but I love Biolante.
I want to see them. Yeah, I want to see them do like genetically engineered monsters, because we already had like mechanical like monsters. Ghidorah was like our space monster already.
Yeah, probably keep having. I mean, I guess you would have to keep having humans be the bad guys.
And they mostly are for like almost everything.
They usually are. They usually are for like every like
True.
Godzilla.
Human greed will always come out on top as the ultimate evil.
That, or we could really be big brained and bring in my boy Gamera. Just fucking do it. Let's just bring Gamera in. You make it happen, Warner Brothers.
That'd be fucking rad. It might be too much of a retread of Godzilla vs. Kong.
I don't think we're gonna get any like more buddy monsters. Maybe Mothra, maybe.
That's like her whole shtick with Godzilla.
King of the Monsters was kind of like Destroy All Monsters, but like I still would want a Destroy All Monsters movie with way more kaijus in it.
It's gonna be Mothra, we already did that. And then if we're very, very, very lucky, we might get Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be so sick. It would be so sick. To see, I honestly, I feel like we are so close to Jet Jaguar. Like they just need to have a couple really good meetings in Warner Brothers HQ. Just like really sell these old fuddy duddies on Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
Let's introduce
Jet Jaguar. I think the problem is like Toho is always really fucking tight with their properties, and you have to like pay for each new character that they use. So.
That must be why they made up a bunch of them, like the skull heads and the...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because each monster is basically its own Godzilla, so they want to like charge you.
Yeah, they each have their own trademark.
What are the I don't know if they gave him a name, but like we saw like the big snake guys, and then we saw the other like weird bird creatures that have creepy faces. Those were brand new. Yeah, the bird bat thing. But I'm pretty sure all those were like they'd never really been.
No, there was like a little. There were like little crawling little crab guys, and then there was a bigger guy that ate the crab guy.
I loved all of these creatures. I wanted to meet them all.
I love Kong Skull Island has a lot of that too. There's some really there's a really cool like spider monster in Kong.
That part was probably the coolest part of that movie, honestly. I wish that movie was better. I feel like that movie could have been so much better than it was.
It could have, but it was good. I liked it. It's sort of like a funny Vietnam fucking kaiju
Vietnam.
movie. Where you're like in Vietnam, but it's like fucking Skull Island, bro.
And then the big skull crawler come out and Godzilla or King Kong punch him hard.
King Kong punch.
Oh god, this is yeah, I think is that it? Anything else you guys want to say?
I just think
Godzilla versus
I just
Kong?
think they're gonna have to really do something awesome to top this one. It's gonna be real hard to top this one.
Yeah.
That's why they gotta go into space.
Just keep
or
trying.
They gotta, like,
Just keep
I don't
trying.
know, they have to have maybe they should make. They should make. I haven't seen a movie where I haven't seen a monster verse movie where Godzilla is straight up outnumbered. Right.
Yeah.
Money.
Wait, wasn't the plot of King of the Monsters though? Because like Rodan teamed up with Ghidorah.
No, but on Godzilla's side was Mothra.
I just want like at a certain point in the Marvel movies, they basically just became each movie as like an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So just do that. Just like bring them
True.
both in and have them fucking kill some shit. Please.
I have to say, I don't like the Mothra design though. I'm a big
Oh
Mothra
yeah,
snob.
I'm not a fan of
Wait, what
that.
Mothra design?
Of new Mothra.
The new
She
Mothra.
King of
shows-
the Monster.
She's very
She's
sexy.
so
Wait,
skinny.
she was in King of the Monsters.
Is she sexy?
Oh, she
Yeah, they
was in
made her
King of the
I thought she
Monsters.
was-
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, she was.
I thought she was edgy.
She's like
'Cause she
skinny
had like
as
she had like
fuck.
a stinger.
I like
She had like a
thick
fucking stinger,
Mothra.
and Mothra never had a fucking stinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Let me see.
I don't know. I'm just a big. I would love to see like just a straight up Mothra movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, but they made like
I
a
have.
Mothra trilogy in the '90s that is like Cocoa Bananas. It's like fucking bizarre.
She looks alright.
In one of them, like
nutty.
Mothra goes back in time to make sure that King Ghidorah is like never born. It's very weird.
She looks okay.
Oh, we should watch.
She's
one of
got big
those.
arms.
I don't know. I didn't. That's not a bad like angle of her, but there's one angle.
That's not
that
a
I
bad
always think
angle,
of.
but if you
Oh,
see
I
her
see
like
the way
front
you're
on,
talking
she's a
about.
little weird.
Yeah,
She's like
I
a
don't know.
sexy wasp.
Thank you. Yes, they made her sexy. They literally
Yeah.
look. She's sexy. They made her too sexy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mothra's
No,
Mothra
this
needs to be
appeals to
very
me. I love
large and
this.
fluffy.
This is great.
Yeah.
I don't remember her being this
Keep
sexy.
going,
Mothra.
please.
Mothra,
Yes,
Mothra
please
must be
more.
large and fluffy. Make her
Yeah.
large and fluffy.
Give her the
Yeah,
fluff,
maybe
but
they
also
can-
give her
maybe
the
they
curve. You know, we gotta have a boat.
Maybe we could do Batra next.
You
Do
know,
we
Batra
have
would be
to
pretty
do
sick.
Batra? I don't care for
I
Batra.
like Batra.
Sexy Mothra.
Alright.
Again.
I told you.
Hell
I've already
yeah,
told
I
you.
gotta see this movie.
I love Mothra.
Alright.
Dude, give me something as crazy as the first Rebirth of Mothra movie.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. There's a whole scene. The fairies like come back, and there's like an evil fairy, and she rides on like a tiny little like dragon. And there's a whole like extended scene where she's like chasing the fairies inside someone's living room, and they're like really tiny. And it's like 10 minutes long. It's like, why is this so long? It's like Chibi Robo, like the whole game, speed run. But yeah, great movie. Can't wait
Great
for the next
movie.
one.
The
I'm
people
sure
who don't
I
like
will
this
not
movie,
like it.
get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, the people who don't like fucking Vosh doesn't
Oh my
like this.
god. Friendship ended with Vosh. Now Kong is my new Titan.
I
savior.
remain vindicated because I've had this conversation with you. I don't respect Vosh. I don't respect him.
I said it. I said at some point in the
I
movie.
should-
Friendship ended
Yeah.
with Godzilla. Now Kong is my new Titan savior. It's really funny.
Oh.
God, was it? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a Nazi now.
That's right.
Don't like Vosh. We hate him.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Friendship
so
ended
good,
with
like,
Vosh. Now Stone Toss is my new
How
friend.
like okay, you either don't like kaiju, which is okay, whatever. I don't want to talk to you, or you're just like you're just dead. Like, how do you not find joy from this movie?
If,
I don't know.
If you
It's
just,
probably
like,
some
if you-
stupid reason, like, oh, I didn't. Where's the theming in this movie? It's like, fuck you, like, fuck you.
There's,
That was the IGN
you
review,
David
right?
the Gnome looking piece of shit. All right,
The
it's
IGN
just supposed to be
review. Like,
fun.
there is no. There is some theming, although it's like I'm not even focused on that because I'm too old. When I
It's
think
not
of King
supposed
Kong,
to
when
be
it's Godzilla
about that.
versus Kong.
It's just supposed to be fun.
I like just straight up. No, Godzilla vs Kong is all about how capitalism bad
Oh
because
my
it creates
god!
Mechagodzilla.
Oh my
That's every
god!
movie
You're
now.
you're becoming Vosh. You're just taking over
Yes.
his place in your own head.
in a non-capitalistic word, there wouldn't be a Mechagodzilla. I don't know about you, dog.
If anything, it's more anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah.
I will not explain myself.
You're anti-disestablishmentarian. You're just like a debate, bro. You're getting up there, Protus.
So, there's Mechagodzilla is bad because he was created by capitalism. Boom, there you go.
Boom, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is bad. That's what Godzilla vs. Kong is about.
Oh, you know what? Maybe Vosh hates it because maybe he doesn't like Return to Monkey. Maybe that's like a dog whistle. You know?
Would you say this movie was pro Return to Monkey?
I mean, he does return. I mean, to a new place.
He returns to Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I mean...
I wouldn't say it's very return... I don't know, because if you become a monk, you're going to have to fight a bunch of giant lizards. They always seem to attack them.
Sorry, this conversation needs to end before it gets dangerous. All right, this was such a delight. I loved watching this movie. I loved talking about it.
Yeah,
God,
it was fun watching
when
it
was
with
the
you
last...
guys.
When was, like, the last fun Toku film we watched?
When was the last fun movie
I've
that I
literally
watched?
liked all of them.
Pulgasari.
Pulgasari is fun.
I didn't like Pulgasari.
I like Pulgasari. I like Inframan.
Joshi's.
I like
Joshi's is fun,
Joshi's
too.
was my favorite so
I like
far.
Joshi's.
was
I love
my favorite.
Joshi's, but I wasn't in love with Joshi's. I like Pulgasari.
Pulgasari
We
I
all
like
hated
talking
Devil
about
Man.
a lot. I think the only real stinker
Okay,
is
yeah.
Devil Man.
Yeah, Pulgasari is more of a thing. Pulgasari is more for your mind.
Yeah, it's the thinking man's
Godzilla,
kaiju film.
yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong is more for your
Yeah.
heart. You know, it's more for the heart.
We gotta get
right
Pulgasari
here.
we
works
gotta
out
get
of the
Vosh
library.
on Pulgasari. We gotta
Yeah, next episode
album.
featuring Vosh.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, we'll, all four of us will debate Bosch
Yeah.
and try to convince that Godzilla vs. Kong is good, actually.
But the scene where he charges up the axe made me pog and lol.
Yeah.
Sometimes giant monsters are okay if they defeat other giant monsters that are bigger problems.
Yeah. You know, it's
Yeah.
called harm reduction, first of all.
like I mean, in King. Yeah, I didn't like it. King of the Monster was too pro monarchy. This one
Enough. Enough.
Yeah.
No more.
Enough. King of the monsters.
No
All
more.
right. Okay. So I guess everyone just plug your stuff. This will be the end.
Kazoo Chachu
we-
at Twitter. Go, you freaks.
You can follow my podcast. It's Joe KKK. We post everywhere. Anywhere you get your podcast. We do JoJo. We talk about JoJo monthly chapters every time a new chapter comes out. Hell yeah. Follow me also on Twitter at King
Advertise
Protus.
this podcast on your podcast. You fuck.
King
I
of
will.
Protus.
My much more successful podcast than this one. I
My
will.
much more successful podcast.
This was
I'm something
seriously.
of a
This was
caster.
this was a delight.
I'm
I love
Sporktown
this.
Heroine. That's it.
Follow us all on Twitter.
Yeah,
all of
follow
our
us.
ads should be on the screen right now. I'm Cheesymanfredo.
Follow us with your grubby
Yes.
little fucking fingers.
This is the Cheesy Man. I rebranded. This should be the Cheesycast channel. This is just the Cheesymanfredo channel.
Okay.
This is for my
All right.
general shit. We don't know what we're gonna watch next time. Hopefully, it's something good.
It won't
Yeah.
be.
Maybe
It cannot
we'll
be
go-
better than this one.
Probably won't be
who
as
knows?
entertaining,
knows?
but it could be good.
It could be good. I like an
Okay.
old-fashioned kaiju.
Well, I kind of do want to go back to something a little bit old
Yeah.
fashioned.
Yeah.
Something pre-2000s.
Yeah.
The Godfather.
Yeah, got the original Toku film, Godfather.
Godfather meet Godzilla.
Yeah, Italians are the kaijus of humans. if you think
They're
about
so
it.
large. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right,
All right.
okay.
Stop recording.
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
Me too.